Hi, I'm Assemblywoman Angela B. McKnight from LD31, and I am here today with Fanpac. I am with them. I support their equal share parenting. As a co-sponsor of the bill, I want to make sure that all communities have equal share parenting, because at the end of the day, it's very important that the decision that we make for the benefits for the children. So again, I am one of the co-sponsors of this bill, and I stand firmly with Fanpac, and we have to make sure that this legislation is passed for the benefit of our children. Thank you.
Thank you for being a champion for our children.
Yes, thank you.
Assemblywoman Annette Chaparro. She is a primary sponsor of Assembly Bill A1091, which provides for a rebuttable presumption that joint legal and equal or approximately equal physical custody is in the best interest of our children, and that should guide the family court regarding custody decisions. She is a champion for our children, so thank you for taking time to speak with Fanpac today, and we look forward to hearing your comments and sharing your passion for why this is important to you.
Well, thank you for being here also. This is something that when it was first brought to me, I love the idea. At first I thought that's something that the courts should already have in place. Being part of the court system myself, we've all had our different stories to share. I wanted people to realize how important this is for many reasons. We all have unique situations. This bill particularly is not a bill that people would think is, you're in court. You're going through many different situations. I want to make sure that people understand those situations are unique and will continue to go through the court system. This is more about families that are already together as a family. And when that doesn't work out, they separate. Mom and dad separate. The love for that child and the time that each parent wants to put in with that child should remain. And that's all we're trying to do. We're trying to let the judges in the court system understand that. Give them a guideline to say, okay, mom and dad are here, things didn't work out, but the love for the children, whether it's one child or more, is the same. That doesn't mean just because mom and dad didn't work out, doesn't mean that that child should feel one or the other stop loving them or doesn't want to spend time with them. And I think it's important, it's very important, because sometimes we get caught up in our own feelings and our own situations where we say we love our children, but we don't realize how much damage we're doing when we're trying to separate it. It's important. Too many things have been going on in society today. Our children, whether it's being bullied or insecurities as, when they go through puberty or anything, we don't want to make that harder for a child. And I think that this bill, and we're open to it, because we're open to changes. We're open to make sure that everyone understands what is the goal of this bill. It's for the children, because we want to make sure that our young people are growing up being loved by both mom and dad. Regardless of what's going on, it's about the child. And if that's what it comes down to, then this should be an easy bill to follow. We can add what we need to add. There's different points of view, and we're not discounting that. We want our constituents to know, we want residents of the state of New Jersey know that there's so many things out there that is going on. Our children need our loving guidance. And the last thing they want to be caught up is in a court battle, who loves who more. If parents can walk away with an understanding that once they walk into that courtroom, that the judge is going to say, well, here are two parents that love their child. They live together. They were one family. Let's hear them out. But this is a joint custody issue. Let's hear what's best for the child. Obviously, there are many dynamics. We get that. We want that child to walk away knowing that mom and dad went to court to figure what's best for them, and it's to love them equally and to share their lives equally. You don't want to miss anything. You know that. You know when you're in your child's life, you don't want to miss anything, whether you have to work, whether you have other responsibilities and you have to miss that recital or you have to miss that game. You want to be able to know that mom is there or dad's there, but that you've had that agreement. And I think that sometimes the courts are overwhelmed already. And there are those issues where, there's child custody involved. but they don't live together, like they never did live together, that's going to stay the same. That's always going to be, the judge has to make that decision, what's going to happen. We're talking about a family already living under the same roof that's going to court because it did not work out. That should not take away from the child. And I think it's important that everyone understands this and that we're open to discussions, and that it's really in the best interest of our children. We want to love our children, and we want to make sure that they don't feel like they have to pick, choose. They want to love mom and dad and not be questioned about it or feel like they're choosing and feel guilty. Because once that child is loved by both mom and dad, regardless of the living situation, that child grows up to be a unique kid and can be free to be whatever they want to be without the extra baggage that mom and dad, unfortunately, maybe not knowingly or intentionally, puts on them. And I think that the courts are burdened enough, and we need to make things a little bit easier. So if we have a mom and dad that comes into that courtroom, and the one thing they have in common is that they love that child, well, then let's let the judge start from there. Not to try to, well, let's see where this case goes. Where's this kid going to live? How about this kid may go 50-50 mom, dad. Now, if something happens, every case is unique. That's, of course, the courts are going to decide. But you have to present your case. And I don't want people to ever think that this bill is going to take away their right. You have a case, you have a case. Period. This bill's not going to say, oh, now we're going to make it harder for moms or make it harder for dads. It's just about letting that child be loved by both. And in today's society, they need a mom and a dad. And we have too many young men running around, or too many young women running around without the support of, they have an absent parent. And we want to make sure that that's not the case. And if we can prevent that, and if parents can maybe go into court saying, we both love this child. Of course I want the child to live with me. Of course dad wants the child to live with him. Let's start off that way. And if a judge can say, okay, we both love the child, let's start off from there and work our way down. Not we have to build who's going to get the kid. It's important, and I think that we're on the right track. This opens up discussion. We don't want it to be a negative bill. We want it to be a positive bill for our children, and to make kids in New Jersey feel that the courts are behind them, that maybe mom and dad can work this out. And you know what? I think once they start off like that, mom and dad will work it out, because at the end, you're going to say, you know what? One thing we have in common is that we love this kid or our children. And you want to be part of that. No one wants to miss anything. Why does it have to be that way? So that's where I'm hoping that my colleagues will get on board, and that everyone that has a stake in it will come together and say, even if they have concerns, we welcome that, because we want to work it out, because we want this to be successful bill, not a bill that go, oh, we didn't think of that, oh, we got to go back to the drawing board. We want to make sure that the children win all the time. And bottom line is mom and dad will win too. Everyone will be happy with this. But we want to make sure that domestic violence is still going to be protected. This bill will never take away from victims of domestic violence. That is very important to me. We want to make sure that those people are still protected. And this bill doesn't take away from that. And it should not. Whatever other things that we've missed, we want to be able to discuss it with, like I said, any stakeholder that just feels that there's something lacking or should be added or should be taken from. Let's discuss it. But I wanted to keep moving to the right direction, because we want to ease the burden for the judges and the court system that's already overburdened with a lot of nonsense. If we could just start off right, I think this is a win-win for our children.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We appreciate your time, and most importantly, your passion for our kids. Your constituents are lucky. The state of New Jersey is lucky to have you being their advocate, and we look forward to working alongside of you and getting this bill across the finish line.
Thank you.
Thank you.